Charlie Manuel, tell us about the greatest hitter who ever lived, Ted Williams, please.
Ted Williams was some kind of guy. He was loud, not just, he was kind of a real high-pitched voice guy. He used to scream a lot. I used to talk to him a lot. I was very fortunate. And we talked hitting a lot. And he was, before his time as hitting coach, he was he's a guy that when I was really odd with him, but I used to talk about the science of hitting with him. That's the book that he wrote. And I used to get on him about it, some things just in there, and he'd get mad at me. And he called me Bush. And I remember the most, we used to argue about the bottom hand on the bat. I say the bottom hand on the bat, you know, that puts you in a position for the top hand to work and things like that. He used to say, well, the top hand is the closest to point of compact, and also it gives power up to my swing, which I totally agree with that. But my bottom hand, in order to me to get the bat, is the first hand to work, and it pulls your bat through, and it helps you get the angle of the bat hitting the ball from the bottom hand. And nowadays we have guys that push the ball a lot, but sometimes when you see guys push the ball, they're nowadays they can be successful because the fences are not back to as far as they used to be, and the balls are harder, and the bats are definitely harder. Even the bats when Kevin played in 1993, when I see him in Triple L, he can tell you about the bats. The bats are way harder, and the ball goes farther, and they can get by hitting that ball like that, like by pushing the ball. And also they use lighter bats because the bat's harder. They use lighter bats. And Williams would, if he was standing here today, he would get mad if he seen somebody push the ball or chicken wing the ball. Brian Giles is the first guy that really had a bad chicken wing I've seen come in minor leagues, and I corrected it from him. It wasn't hard to correct. Through a lot of work and practice, he corrected. I stepped in a meeting one day when I was with the Indians, and we were talking about. They said Giles was never going to hit, and I said he was going to hit 40 home runs, and he hit 40 home runs in 300. And the reason I said that was because he was a strong guy, and he got the place where he gets his bottom hand through the ball, and that's what you backside and your hips, and you use top hand to drive the ball. And so we was in Boston one day. I'm a hitting coach with the Indians, and Williams was out in the outfield with the Legends, and he was in a wheelchair. And when we got through, they rolled him. This guy pushed him across the mound. I was standing over in a dugout, and he looked over at me, and he said, "Take me over where Bush Lugger is." He said, "Take him over." He said, "I want to go over and talk to that Bush Lugger." And when they push him over to me, he looks at me, and he goes, "What about that bottom hand?" I said, "What about it?" He said, "You're right on." He said, "I agree with you." After 10 years, he agreed that I was right and he was wrong, but he never put it in the last book he wrote.